Yeah. Slow flame effect taking hold. This movie is awesome. This movie is awesome. 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 Sorry about that, guys. I just couldn't help myself. Well, if anybody has been following me, I'm sorry, I'm gonna move this a little. There we go. So, the recording will be a little bit more clear than usual. Hopefully. Like I said, if any of you have been following me, last week I put up a little poll on my Facebook. I doubt anyone on YouTube follows my Facebook account, but people, my friends, my family do, so they put in a little vote. I gave them 3 options on what I should review next, because I haven't done a review in forever, so without doubt, Star Trek Into Darkness. Freaking awesome movie. I do love this movie pretty much. I over exaggerated in the opening bit. I couldn't help it. I had to get it all out and all of that. Since this is after the theaters and it's been a while since this has been on DVD, everyone and anyone has already seen this. And this has to go down to 2 things. 1, you still haven't seen this, and 2, you're not interested. Well, 3 things in. Or 3, you just want to know what my opinion is of this film. No, you love it, you hate it, and you're like, well, I want to see what other people think. No, you keep open mind, and that's what all my show is about, keeping an open mind on everything. But if you haven't seen it, see the first reboot. Yes, I have Star Trek films, people. I am that much of a nerd. I watch Star Wars. I am a big fan of Star Wars fan. I'm a majority a Star Wars fan. And I am a Star Trek fan. But when this reboot came out, I fell in love with it. It's amazing reboot on how they did it. A lot of old school Star Trek fans will say otherwise. I'm not an old school Star Trek fan. Star Trek The Next Generation is my personal favorite of the Star Trek series. I would rather watch those any day of the original classics, except for the movies. Wrath of Khan is my most favorite Star Trek movie of all time, almost. It's in my top 10 of top favorite movies ever, anyways. Awesome film. But let's talk about Star Trek Into Darkness. First, see the first film if you have not seen it. If you remember the first film, let's go into the second film. The second film, like the first film, has great, fantastic acting. Let's start with acting. Acting is fantastic, from the small minor role to the big roles, to the main people who reprised the roles from the first reboot and went into the sequel. They still do a fantastic job. They are freaking awesome in everything they do. They act their heart out, and I absolutely love it. I love this new Kirk 10 times better than I liked William Shatner's Kirk. I have never been a fan of William Shatner's Kirk. I don't think I'll ever be a fan of him. I love William Shatner because of his overacting abilities. I give him credit where credit is due. He's a legend now. Apparently his fan base is quite interesting. So if any of you William Shatner fans come see my video, well, you don't understand William Shatner, man. No, I really do not. His overacting ability is the most entertaining thing I have ever seen in my life. And that's why I love him, is his overacting ability. But when he solely acts, only a few things I really enjoyed. Wrath of Khan is one of the few things where he does do a great role in, and actually does portray the character well. But I still love this new Kirk. 10 times better. And you're like, well, okay, what about the new Spock then? New Spock, I quite enjoy this actor. He's no Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy is a fantastic actor, and he is the only Spock, probably in my world, any fan's world. He is the only Spock. But this new actor, he does a pretty good job. I mean, he acts his heart out, and it's interesting to see this guy in a different role. Before he did this, he was, well, as everyone knows, he was in Heroes as the villain and all that. If you have not seen Heroes, first 2 or 3 seasons, good. After that, just go straight downhill. So, after the first couple seasons, I recommend that you just... You'll probably either get tired of it or you finish to the end. No, that's why I did. When I start something, I finish something. Except for this project I'm working on, I guess. Okay, let's go on to the villain. The guy who acts as a villain. Oh my God, I love this guy. If you have not seen him outside of this movie, you're probably watching the movie and go, who is this guy? Why is he in the main villain role? Sure, he's excellent and all that, but you don't know him. Watch Sherlock, people. Go on Netflix. Watch Sherlock. This show is freaking amazing. It has Martin Freeman from The Hobbit. This guy plays as Sherlock in that show, and he's freaking amazing. Martin Freeman plays as, as Watson, and he's freaking amazing in that show. So if you love Martin Freeman and The Hobbit, you'll love him and Sherlock as Watson. And oh my gosh, I just cannot express enough on how much I love this actor. I absolutely crazy about this actor. I can't wait for the next season of Sherlock. It can't come soon enough in my world. In this movie, he is fantastic. Now you're probably asking, which villain is he playing as? Since this is a whole reboot, and it goes off some continuity-ish, like villains and characters. You're probably wondering, does he play a main villain? Let's go on to story, shall we? Yes, I'm just skipping into story. Actually, no. Scrap that. Forget it. I'm going into filmography. Let's talk about the filmography. From the first movie, filmography was solid. Only thing I did not like was the glare, and everyone else didn't like the glare in the face type of thing, where everyone's squinting. They don't look like they know what they're looking at because the light's straight in their eyes. What buttons am I pressing? I don't know. Just yell because I can't see anything. The light is straight into my eye. They did that as a new age type of thing. Star Trek is going to be clean, it's going to be bright, it's going to be fun. No, it's going to be different and all that. It's going to be like alien world type of thing. No, that's what Star Trek is. Star Trek is very different. It's very slow. It's very story endowed and very clean and not very fast. So that's what Star Trek has been known for. However, this whole reboot is, I don't know, goes, forget all that stuff. Action! Which a young person like me, I love that type of stuff. The filmography from the first film into the second film has changed in a good way. And a bad way. One bad way. The good way is they took out the glare, so we don't have to worry about the whole, light in people's face type of thing, and they actually could see the actors being more comfortable scenario, comfortable scenes, and all that. Best thing I can say is near one of these films, they don't have shaky cam, so you don't have to worry about that. If my hand's moving, I'm petting a dog here. I have a dog here and a dog here. Two doggies. Just. I know. Anyways, there's no shaky cam. Everything's nice, smooth, stable, and clean, just like a Star Trek movie should be. There's no shaky cam gimmicks of like, oh, we're going to make this realistic, so we're going to take the camera, make it shake so you can barely see anything. See how uncomfortable that was for me and for you? And it's not an uncomfortable thing. You like to look at me, I guess, and the wall behind me. I have a couch. Yeah. But the movie is like that. The movie keeps everything nice and stable, so you'll be able to see everything and follow everything easily enough. Okay, now let's go to the story. The story is, one negative thing about filmography is that it's called Star Trek in the Darkness, and scenes could be dark, literally. First one had too much light. This one and some scenes do not have enough light. Besides that, everything's fine. Okay, now into the story. The story continues on. Probably a couple years after the first film, they went through many adventures and all that jazz, and how it starts out is quite interesting. Is that they saved this planet from a volcanic eruption and all that, almost killing Spock. You got to see it to really, really have it impact you. No, it's really what Kirk is good at, is be able to do anything for his crew. So, no, he breaks the rules, like Kirk does. He's a rule breaker, and he gets demoted from captain to first officer. Goes like that, though. Next scene, he's captain again. That whole thing could be a whole movie on its own, seeing Kirk grow again and earning his spot as captain, like we saw in the first one. We saw him grow, and we saw his experiences and grow and become captain. They could have done that all over again. I guess it's a good thing they didn't, but that whole demotion was shoved off screen. Like, oh great, now we have an important character that's dead. I'm not going to tell you who. And so now you're captain again, and you're broken again, and and since that's someone that you deeply care about, now you're going to be all vengeful. So now this comes from growth and about meaning of, if you've seen the first beginning scene, you think it's going to be about all about the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few, or the one. It's all what Star Trek is about. So you think, maybe the whole movie's going to be about that. No, since someone that Kirk cares about dies, it's going to be about vengeance, but it's going to be about meaning of, the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few. It doesn't have a very set story. Okay, I'm going to stop a little quickly and explain something. What's so great about Star Trek is every single one of the movies, every single one of the episodes has a set story. Has a whole thing on what it's going to explore and sort of talk to you about. Maybe it's going to be about race. Maybe it's going to be about war. Maybe it's going to be about disease or something, or pollution, or vengeance. It's going to be about something. This kind of feels like it's everywhere. It kind of does not know what it wants to be. I know what it wants to be. It wants to be the Wrath of Khan type of thing. mixed with a little something here and there. It's kind of everywhere. But this whole movie is kind of everywhere. Um, no, that's the most negative thing I have to say about the movie is that when it reaches the climaxes goes on and on and on and on. And then it just goes straight down. And then it goes, okay, end of that climax, now we're just going back down to earth and all that jazz. And you just go, okay, I'm a little bit tired now. But now I go back into story, and that climax, and then it goes on and on and on, but then back down. It's quite exhausting to sit through at moments that you're like, okay, when are we going to get back to the story and all that? That's why I'm everywhere also, because the story is everywhere and does not know what it wants to be. But however, the whole movie revolves around the villain. The whole, my opening's got the snow flame effect. If you don't know what that is, watch my Man of Steel review, read my Facebook review on Highlander where I explain it. I'm not going to explain it again. I probably won't ever explain it ever again. So watch my reviews, people. Watch my reviews! Okay. But yes, this movie does have a snow flame effect greatly. But so does Dark Knight. What? It does. Dark Knight is totally set on the villain. So is this. Without the villain in Dark Knight, the Dark Knight movie would have been horrible, awful. And this movie suffers from the same things. Oh my gosh, it's so funny how they are so much like Dark Knight and Star Trek Into Darkness are so much alike. But Dark Knight is 10 times more way epic than this is. This does lag on the epicness that the first reboot movie has set. Okay, so the villain. The villain is what makes this movie so freaking awesome. It's freaking Khan. One of my most favorite Star Trek villains ever in Star Trek history. It's probably one of my most favorite villains in my top 10 list of favorite villains. Khan is freaking awesome, and he's up there. He's basically the Joker of the Star Trek series. That's how big he is, people. So if they screwed him up one iota of this character, this whole movie, this whole franchise would have failed right there. But oh my gosh, the actor to play him did such a beautiful job. Only thing is that actually I have nothing bad to say. My wife was like, I don't really feel the ruthlessness of Khan. Khan is very cold and he's very ruthless. He'll do anything and everything to get his way. With whole Wrath of Khan, if you have not seen it, see it. It's all about vengeance. He's basically Captain Ahab, and he'll do anything, everything to take down the ship. And this is all about his crew. He wants to save his crew of his ship and all that jazz, and he'll do everything to save them. He destroys cities basically. It's crazy. He's cold, he's calculating, he's so ruthless. I love it. There's a point in time where he has Captain Kirk hostage on another ship, and his crew's on the Enterprise, and he goes, "You'll release my crew to me." And Spock goes, "No, I will not do this." And he goes, "Well, he goes, "And you won't do this because you'll kill your crew and all at the same time." And he goes, "Well, your crew needs oxygen, Spock. My crew doesn't. So I'm just going to go in for your life support and watch you suffocate and wither. And when you're all dead, I will walk over your cold corpse to retrieve my crew from you." was freaking awesome. Oh my god. It gave me shivers. Still gives me shivers. Seeing that scene. I know, I'm okay, bro. It is such an awesome. Okay. You want to be a part of the show now, too? He's so up today. I do not get it. Usually when I do my reviews, he's so calm. But I guess I'm excited. See this nonsense? He's excited now. Okay. Daddy has to work. I get it. I love you too. Do you want to do the review for me? Okay, good. Anyways. It basically overshadows everything that is bad in this film. And the last 50 minutes is what does drag this film down, sadly enough. The last 15 minutes is not horrible, as some critics have said it was when I read it when I was out in theaters. They said the last 15 minutes ruins the whole film. I don't really see that. The last 15 minutes is just not as gloriously as the rest of the film is, or it's even very laggy compared to other Star Trek films. But the rest of the movie really does make up for this. So now I'm going to set a final score. I don't really know if this is a review or afterthought because my afterthoughts, I usually don't spoil everything, but this has been way overdue. So this is going to be a legit review. And my final score, if I would have to do 5 stars, I would do 3.5 stars, or possibly 4. Because of the villain himself, but the story is everywhere. I will only have to give it 3.5 stars. Same rating I would give Man of Steel. Strangely enough, because critics hate both movies. But out of 10, I will do probably 7.5, 8 stars out of 10. I don't know if I'm ever going to do one or other rating system, but you get the idea. If you have not bought this movie but you've seen it, I recommend buy it. If you have not seen this movie and have seen the first movie, buy this now. Go out and buy it now. Not to rent it, people. It's worth your money. I mean, DVD money is as important as theater money in my mind, because once you own it, you own it. It's yours to do with. Watch it, share it with your friends, review it, do whatever. I don't believe in destroying it. I mean, I have Blades of Glory in my collection. I do not destroy it because I own it. It's my property. I see people that destroy DVDs because they're bad movies, and I just say that's a bad waste of time, because people put effort in those movies and all that jazz. I guess what I'm trying to go for is that that's basically what my reviews are all about. Is maybe even if it's a bad movie, understand that people still put work into it. Sure, you could tear it apart. Sure, you could nitpick. Sure, you could riff on it. But I'm going off track. I'm way too over time. I might edit this last part out. So you guys have a good time. Hope you enjoyed the review, and hopefully I'll come up with another one soon. See you later.